Hi gorgeous, I hope you are well and happy. Alright, let's talk about the feminine high value woman content. I'm sorry, I, Nomfundo Mbata, have a problem with this type of content. It just rubs me off the wrong way. And before we even get into it, maybe you're just like, well, why are you even watching it? I started watching this content because YouTube would recommend, I think because it was trending and the titles were very intriguing. So I was like, whoa, I'm very curious. So I wanted to know what exactly is this person going to say. So sometimes not necessarily to learn, but just to know what is going on. So that's how I started watching. And then I carried on watching because I could not believe what I was hearing sometimes. So sometimes I will listen to things even if I don't agree, just to have a wide understanding of human beings. But sometimes I'll spend tons of time listening to stuff I don't necessarily agree with. That's just me, right? So I found myself watching this a lot, and I was always just like, oh my gosh, like I would want to comment sometimes or just be seething sometimes because of what I'd be hearing, right? This is how to be a woman, this is how to not be a woman. And my question would always be, well, why do you get to tell me how to be a woman? Who are you, right? That was like my first thought every time I listened to these women. But it doesn't end there. I think I have so many problems with this content, so let's get into it. Number one, I believe women are already under a lot of pressure generally. So to have another woman be the source of our insecurities is not fair. So these women will say things that some gullible women will take very personally and end up feeling like they are doing a lot of things wrong. They're not being women the right way, and that's not fair. It's like exploiting people for clout. I also don't like that this content poses as positive, but when you dig deep, it's actually not very positive. It's meant to break women instead of building each other up. So if you sit a certain way, you are a great woman. It's like your posture is up high and the European standards or whatever is in our heads, then sure, that's how to be a woman. But if you slouch, for example, and no, girl, you need to sit up straight and you need to be gorgeous and you need what year are we in? What is going on? I also don't like that they are speaking from a place of I'm better than you. And I'm better than you in a sense that men are more attracted to me because I'm a better woman. I'm more feminine and I know how to attract men. So this content is more about twirling for men and bowing down. It's for men. It's not necessarily even for building up other women, but it's more for men to feel good at the expense of women, and it's by women telling women to do that. It's insane. So if this content was for women to be empowered, I'd be like, okay, cool, because let's empower each other in whatever way and fashion. But if this is for women to get more attention from men, so that a man is gonna love you because you're too masculine, you too much for him, you need to tone it down and whatnot, and whatever the hell they are saying, it's like, well, are we gonna start living for us? We need to choose a battle. Are we going to start doing things because we want to do things as women and they make sense? Or are we always going to be living with the hopes of being chosen? Are we now telling women are we continuing, because we've been told this growing up, a lot of us, to do stuff in order to be chosen? So are we continuing in that path, or are we going to be like, hey man, we are enough the way we are, in whatever fashion we are in, we're just enough, right? And this is not to say that there's not always room to improve and grow as a person. Of course there's room to grow. Of course there's room to listen to other people, but there's no reason for another person to come and inflict unnecessary insecurities and for you to listen and take that in and now try to change because another person said your existence is wrong. So this type of content gives the energy of the racial struggles that we have. Like there's one race that is great. You have to, if your hair is coiled, you better straighten it up because your hair is wrong that way. If your skin is dark, you better lighten it up because it's wrong that way. If your body is this way, you better shape it up or cut it down to make it look a certain way to fit a certain standard by a particular race of people, right? So for me, when I hear that this is wrong to be a woman and this is right to be a woman, I hear that it's like, oh, you are wrong, you need to change in order to suit the standards of society that are not even realistic, that are harmful, that are unnecessary, that nobody asked for. One time I was watching one of these videos and this girl was saying that she is a feminine, high value woman and she attracts men, but in the same breath, she's been single for such a long time. And I'm like, then what's your point? What men, where are these men that you're attracting that you know so much about? You've got a PhD in this, surely you've been doing this for a long time, but you are, I mean, I don't think that being married or being, there's wrong with being married or there's something wrong with being single. It's whatever is happening in your life is happening. But she was saying she attracts high value men and men take notice of her, but yet she's been single. So the math was not mathing, if you get what I mean. So a lot of them will say these things, but then when you follow up, they themselves are just where we are at and a lot of other women are at. So they are projecting their insecurities in the name of being woke and in the name of being deep and knowledgeable and in the name of knowing it all about a certain aspect of life, in this case womanhood. It doesn't add up. So my point is, just do you. Just be authentic in your own skin, like yourself. If you want to change something about yourself, okay, change it. If you hear something maybe in one of the podcasts or whatever, when you're just listening to stuff and trying to learn and develop, and as a human being, and you feel like, oh, I actually would like to be more like that, okay. But you don't let another person come into your home, because literally on the online world is in our homes, and tell you that you're wrong for being a certain way. It's not like they're trying to help you be better. They are putting you down, and then you taking it and you take it very personally, and you try to do these things to change because this one person who does not even know what they are talking about, whose life does not produce the results of what they claim to know about, is telling you that you are wrong in your whole existence. So this is going to sound cliched as well. It's like, we are all enough. You are enough. I am enough. There's room for improvement. Yes, I will never deny that. But the improvement should be from a place of wanting to be better, not from a place of panicking because you don't feel like you're good enough. We're all good enough. You're good enough. I'm good enough. We are all great, amazing, powerful. If you don't want to be a powerful woman as well, that's also okay. Whatever you define when you see yourself, or however you define yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror, that's okay. If that makes you happy, how you dress, how you present, how you wake up, how you smile, how you don't smile, how you walk, how you don't walk. If you don't like anything that defines who you are, your identity, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it doesn't harm other people, there's nothing wrong with who you are as a person. And I just felt like you needed to know that before they break you down, because girl, it's a pandemic out there. They are trying, they are doing the most. I love you. Bye.